Hello guys and welcome to my YouTube video. So in this video I'm going to continue my lecture series on Android development. So in this video I'm going to show you how to create and use variables in Kotlin. For this I'm going to use Kotlin Playground as a compiler. It is an online compiler. If you guys have seen my previous video then you are familiar with it. If you guys not seen then you are doing a crime. Just go and check out that video. Trust me, you are doing a crime. So let's get started in this video. And also one thing that I want to tell you that if you want the link of Kotlin Playground, then just you can just go and check out the description. Must know about this thing. So variables and data types. In computer programming, there is a concept of a variable, which is a container for a single piece of a data. You can understand it as a box that contains a value. The box has a label, which is the name of the variable. So this is a variable that you can understand it. It is a very easy thing. But the question is that why we use variables in, well, I think I can say when we are doing coding. So let's take an example that why we use variables. So let's you are creating an application where you have to use a value 10 times in a particular application. Then you have to write that value 10 times if you're not using variables. And if you want to update that value and in the particular application, then you have to go and change that value 10 times. But in case of variable, if you're using variable, then you just need to change the value at one time, the place where you are declaring that variable. You just need to change one time and it will change in the whole code. So that is the benefit of using variables. And we use data types. So I think this is more than enough about variables. So let's move and understand the data types of Kotlin data types. So first we have string. String is usually known to store the text data. You can see the example like add contact, search, sign in. This type of data you can store in the string. And int is known for storing the integer numbers. You cannot store the float value in it. You can do, but it will just take the integer part and it will ignore the decimal place. But if you want to store the values, the fraction values, then you can use double and float. If you want precisely store data, then you can go for double. And if you does not want that much precision, then you can go for the float. And the last we have Boolean. Boolean stores just two values, true or false, true and false. So it is used to store the values like yes or no, something that type. For further coding, and we are going to learn more about Boolean. So I think for that time, for now, it is more than enough about Boolean. So let's move to Kotlin Playground to see how you can declare a variable and how you can use it. So let's move on to Kotlin Playground. Kotlin Playground. Why it is not opening? Just yes, this is Kotlin Playground. Just delete all this thing once again. So for in Kotlin, you have to first write function main and then brace parentheses and then curly bracket, and now you can write your code. So this is the basic format that you have to follow in Kotlin language. So for declaring a variable, there first you have to write val and the name of the variable. Let's say I'm using the count as a variable, and then this is colon and the data type. I'm going to store an integer value, so I have to write int. You need to write the first letter to be capital, and then you can assign whatever with the value. Let's say I'm assigning the 6. You does not need to write this thing. And now I created my first variable. So now if you want to print this variable, so in Kotlin you have to write println for the output, and you can write the variable name. Now you can just see the output. count and run the program, it is showing the 6, which is true. So this is a way to declare a variable. Now, how you can use this variable in between string? So let's see how you can use this in between string. Like you are writing the value of count is. So you need to write dollar and then you have to write the name of the variable. So now you can use and access that value in between string. You can see the value of count is 6, which is true. If you are not using this, then it will just print this string. It will not show the value. So using dollar provides you the access value of count. So this is the thing. But one thing when you using val is this: you cannot reassign the value to count. Like if you are trying to assign a value to count, let's say 8, you cannot do this thing. It will generate an error, because when you are using val, it is a constant value. For count, it is a constant value. You cannot reassign a value to count. But if you want to reassign, you can just write here where. Now you can reassign the value, and which is 6 here, and now it is not generating error. And if you want to see it, you can write print ln and then count once again, and now you can see the value is updated. So this is a way to define and declare a variable. And now I think you can understand the difference between val and where. So if it is possible to, if you're not going to change the variable in coding further, then must use val. You ignore the where. But if you want to change the value, then you can go for where. It is not and not create any issue. So after this, we have sign convention. I can say a camel case. People are starting thinking, why camel? This camel is coming. Not, no, there is no camel coming. So in Kotlin, you have to follow a convention, a naming convention. Like this is the name of variable. But if you're writing variable name, let's say phone number, then do not write it like this. Use camel case. So camel case is a way to write the name of the variable. You can write it as this. So this is a camel case in which the first thing comes with a small letter and then the second word come with a capital letter. So this is a way to the write in a camel case, and you can assign any value to it. This. One thing that I'm going to say you more is that in Kotlin you does not need to write this thing. You can just write this, because Kotlin compiler can understand this thing, that it is an integer value, that it is an int type of data. You does not need to write that extra thing about the data type, and it will run. So in the upcoming lecture, we are going to assign and we can going to declare variables like this. We are not going to write that whole thing, because Kotlin is an intelligent language. It does not try to extra things. So moving further, like if you writing a code for an application, like it can be a code of 1,000 line, maybe more than 1,000 line, and you need to handle it to any other developer, then any other developer how can understand your code? So we used to write comment, like this is a way to for a single line comment, like this line is to print count. So which whatever be the line which is coming after this forward slash is commented, it will not run that line, and it will not generate any error. But without it, it will generate an error. You can see that some red lines are coming, and for this we use this thing. Now it will not generate error. So it makes your code more understandable to any other developer. So this is a single line comment, but if you want multiple line comments, then use forward slash star, and then the from where to where you want, like I want it from here to here, then type one star more and then forward slash. The particular three lines are commented. Now it will not run. Now you can see the output. So this is the comment. I think you guys can understand. So I think this is more than enough about this video. So now you guys can go and explore more in the data type. You guys can go for string and try another data types like float, boolean, and also double. So I think this is more than enough. So thank you to come here, and I hope you guys will definitely enjoying this lecture series. So bye bye.